Thank you for starting your week with us. Welcome to Arirang Newsbreak. Live from Seoul, I'm Han Daeun. Our top story this morning, President Park Geun-hye will meet with the leaders of South Korea's three main political parties in the coming hours to seek their cooperation to jointly deal with the security crisis caused by North Korea's fifth nuclear test last Friday. Given the severity of the situation, the president's chief of staff, the National Security Council chief, as well as the foreign affairs and unification ministers will join the meeting. President Park will also share the results of her recent trips to Russia, China, and Laos, in which she focused on garnering international support and cooperation to pressure Pyongyang on its nuclear program. This will be the first meeting between President Park and the party leaders since the 20th National Assembly kicked off and the new leaders took their posts. The world is still processing the implications of North Korea's fifth nuclear test, but speculations are brewing that Pyongyang could conduct yet another one before the year is out. Connie Kim has more.
North Korea has reportedly completed preparations for another nuclear test. Multiple sources within the South Korean government said Monday that South Korea and U.S. intelligence authorities are keeping a close eye on the possibility Pyongyang may push the button on its sixth test at the third unused portal of its Punggye-ri test site. 4 nuclear tests have been conducted at the first and second portal. The fifth test on Friday was conducted some 500 meters away from the fourth test. Seoul and Washington have evaluated that the North will most likely forge ahead with another nuclear provocation before the end of the year as it vowed to continue its nuclear development when it announced last Friday's test. South Korea's defense minister also noted that the North is ready to conduct a nuclear test at one of its 3 portals. To respond to any sudden movements, South Korean and the U.S. military authorities have increased surveillance assets to monitor areas near the Punggye-ri test site. Connie Kim, Arirang News.
The planned deployment of a U.S. strategic bomber from Guam to South Korea has been postponed due to local weather conditions. In light of last Friday's nuclear test by North Korea, South Korean and U.S. authorities had been hoping to deploy a bomber to the peninsula today, but those plans have been pushed back at least 24 hours. Military officials say the deployment will send a strong warning to North Korea over its nuclear test and make the regime think twice about conducting more provocations. Anderson Air Force Base in Guam is home to B-52, B-1B, and B-2 stealth bombers, but Washington has not specified which one will be deployed. Korea posted a trade deficit of over $1 billion in the transport industry in the first 7 months of the year due to sluggish global demand and falling exports. According to the Bank of Korea's balance of payment statistics on Monday, income from January to the end of July was $15 billion, while outgoings were over $16 billion. The shipping industry saw the largest deficit of $894 million, with its cargo transport income dropping by over 28% compared to the same period last year. Experts say that considering Korea's biggest shipping firm, Hanjin Shipping, went under court receivership, the trade deficit may continue for a while. The global recall of Samsung's Galaxy Note 7 doesn't seem to have tainted the Korean tech giant's brand image that much. According to a survey by Android Police on over 11,500 people, almost 4 in 10 said the incident did not negatively affect their opinion of Samsung. Last week, Samsung Electronics announced a global recall, saying the Note 7's battery may catch fire while being charged. More than a third of the respondents said Samsung's quick and effective response to the safety issue had actually raised their trust in the company. Less than a quarter said their trust in Samsung had fallen. Major airlines have banned in-flight use of the new smartphone until the problem is resolved, while some consumer organizations have warned people to stop using the Note 7 altogether. Questions over Hillary Clinton's health have sprung up once again after she appeared to faint in New York. The personal doctor of the Democratic presidential candidate has tied her sudden departure from a 911 ceremony to a pneumonia diagnosis made last Friday. Kim Mo-gyun reports.
In a statement Sunday, Hillary Clinton's physician Lisa Bardak said Clinton has been diagnosed with pneumonia some 48 hours earlier after suffering from a prolonged cough. Earlier in the day, the Democratic presidential nominee had been taken ill at a memorial for the victims of the 9/11 attacks in New York. Video taken by a bystander showed Clinton being pulled into her vehicle by her support staff after appearing to collapse. Her campaign spokesman said afterwards that Clinton felt overheated and was taken to her daughter's Manhattan apartment. Leaving a few hours later, Clinton claimed she was feeling much better.
Hey everybody. How are you feeling, Secretary Clinton? Feeling great. Feeling great. What happened? Just a second, give us a little statement. It's a beautiful day in New York.
Dr. Bardak said that since the pneumonia diagnosis, Clinton has been put on antibiotics and advised to rest and modify her schedule. The Republican nominee Donald Trump has repeatedly raised questions about Clinton's health and whether she had the stamina to serve as president. Clinton's medical history and current health status have been a matter of debate for years. She has been treated for several illnesses in the past, including a blood clot in her head in late 2012. Kim Mo-gyun, Arirang News.
That's all for now. Stay tuned for more top stories here on Arirang. Thank you for watching.